In a largely symbolic move, the OSHA mandate has been withdrawn by the Biden administration. Yep, they announced today that it is off the table. It was already struck down by the Supreme Court. We already seen and heard the arguments that were delivered there, and yeah, it was unenforceable. It was struck down. The stay was granted by the Supreme Court, and they couldn't enforce it. Okay, but the damage has already been done. We already know that, and we're starting to see that in action. But let's see what they're going to be doing because of this withdrawal. Occupational Safety and Health Administration is formally withdrawing President Joe Biden's coronavirus vaccine mandate, which would have affected roughly 84 million workers had the Supreme Court not stepped in. And a January 25th statement. That's today. OSHA announced the withdrawal of the vaccination and testing emergency temporary standard, which it issued on November 5th, 2021. That was last year. Why are you guys still enforcing shit that's already out of date? In its statement, it pitched the mandate as a means to protect unvaccinated employees of large employers than 100 or more employees from workplace exposures to coronavirus. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what you were going for by making people pay for weekly testing, making them pay for all of the fucking masks, and then you wouldn't even recognize something that the CDC, and I've seen a lot of people struck down for this, so if you'd like to just take a look and you'd just like to read something that's right there on the CDC when it comes to, the immunity that you get, and it's something that I'm pretty sure I referenced tangentially yesterday, but like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people get struck recently for just even reading the facts from the CDC, agreeing with the experts. I have 8 strikes on the fucking channel if you'd like proof of concept of that, 9 at this point. Just take a look over there, and they're starting to discuss natural immunity when it comes to Delta variants, the one that's already gone and dusted, and they compare it to the strength of immunity or the strength of help that you get from the vaccine, and boy, is it really tough to release that information through gritted teeth. We'll just go ahead and say that. One of the two are 6 times more likely to provide a comprehensive protection. I think you guys probably know which one that is, but eventually, if given enough time and you listen to Fauci or you listen to these other fucking half-wits that are out there, and I can say that specifically about Fauci and Walensky, because depending on the day is what their opinion is, and eventually they'll come to the right conclusion. But they think, even in spite of all the data that we've seen about the Omicron variant, most of the states, even 2 months after, even though their caseloads are starting to taper off, I will probably see, and I think to the best of my ability, I can forecast this out, that most of the states are going to hit the threshold and they're going to hit the peak of their cases by the end of next month. Even though all of the studies in the places that Omicron have been before, look at South Africa, when everybody thought people were going to be dropping dead, then it's like, no, actually, it's kind of like a cold, symptoms manifest that way, and it's like, cool. It really looks like you're on like a 1-month cycle, and that's kind of where most of these other places, they're starting to go down. Like, you take a look at New York, cases are surging, but then they're just going down. Florida, cases are they're going, no, New Jersey, yeah. It's on like a 6-week schedule, 4 to 6 week schedule. It's done. It's dusted. And I don't hear any talk about a new variant that's out there. Let's just move on with life. Let's just deal with the situation at hand. If anybody gets sick and they need treatment, make sure that they can get that treatment. Still, if you want to go out there and you want to get the jab, go for it. Fucking take mine. I don't need it. You can go ahead and get it as well. Take as many fucking jabs as you want. It's just do what's best for you. Let's just go back to regular life. And this is a tiny admission. This is eventually going to fucking happen. The withdrawal is effective January 26, 2022, even though it can't be enforced, but it's getting withdrawn that day. Although it clarified it is not withdrawing the ETS as a proposed rule. So, what they're going to be doing here is, the one that we can't enforce and the one that failed in all of the courts, we're just going to go ahead and withdraw that, And then they're going to try to modify it, and then they're going to try it again, okay? Because this is always what was going to happen. They keep throwing this shit out there. They just keep trying to figure out whatever the fuck can stick, whatever avenue they want to go down, okay? If it comes to social justice policies in some of their infrastructure bill, like healthcare is infrastructure, buildings are infrastructure, true, but childcare is infrastructure? What the fuck are you on, okay? They keep trying it. Okay, it gets voted down. Okay, we need voting rights, okay, because they're showing the driver's licenses is the racism or whatever. No, it gets voted down, but they still fucking try it. They just keep throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks, and whatever's still there, vote for that. Vote for that. Vote for the greasy mark that's on the wall and some of the stuff that's just trickling down. Although OSHA is withdrawing the vaccination and testing ETS as an enforceable emergency temporary standard, it's not enforceable. You got fucking BTFO'd. The agency is not withdrawing the ETS as a proposed rule. The agency is prioritizing its resources to focus on finalizing a permanent. Okay, cool. So at least you're not looking at emergency anymore, but why don't you just talk to your experts that are out there by saying that this is going to be endemic, so it's something that we're just going to have to fucking live with. So why are you looking at something more permanent when it comes to the COOF? Yeah, by finalizing a permanent COVID-19 healthcare standard, the agency said, emphasizing that it strongly encourages vaccination. Strongly encourage everything that you want. Just don't force it into people's arms or make it a jab or job policy. Okay, how about that? Okay. President Biden originally pitched the rule in a divisive September speech on Chinese coronavirus, in which he scolded unvaccinated Americans, warning that patience was wearing thin and that, it was going to be a winter of death and destruction and fucking mayhem. But like I was saying before, it's like, okay, cool. Can we just move on? Okay, listen, you want to get everybody jabbed up. That's cool. Okay, I want everybody to be rich and famous and powerful. It's just not gonna fucking happen, okay? Everybody's got to look after their own means and needs, okay? There's different wants and desires for everybody, okay? You just gotta look after and deal with reality. People are still gonna get sick with things, okay? People are still dying of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, car accidents, fucking suicides. A lot of the shit you can tie around the pandemic, which nobody's going to be held accountable for. Just fucking quote me on that one, unfortunately. But you got to deal with the people that are sick, okay? Got to deal with the people as they show up with the means that are available to them. And when you're taking vindictive action, like denying monoclonal antibody treatment for people out there, especially in Florida, because the FDA decided that, you ain't going to be getting any more. Why is that? Okay, like, we're using it. Other states don't want to use it. Okay, we'll use it. Okay, no, you can't get any more. Why is that? Because Florida man bad. What's Jen Psaki's take on this? What's Pravda's take on this? Well, the White House is defending the FDA's closure of monoclonal antibody treatment centers in Florida. Why? Fuck if I know. Following a move by the FDA to close Florida's monoclonal antibody treatment sites after a federal government abruptly removed the treatment from emergency use authorizations. Why? Because it was effective? The White House stated that the treatments used in the state do not work against the Omicron variant and have side effects. Oh, now you're concerned about side effects. Okay, cool. That's specific to Florida? Okay. Or what if, recent numbers that I've seen out there for Omicron cases in the United States account for 93% of the coronavirus cases, even though like a regular PCR test can't tell you that at all. You're just speculating at this point, and just look at the numerous revisions when it comes to the numbers out there, especially from the FDA and the CDC. But whatever, you guys do you, right? But you guys know enough, okay? You guys know enough that all of a sudden monoclonal antibodies, they just aren't effective and that they have side effects. Okay, what's your proof that it's ineffective, okay? What's your proof that there's widespread side effects by this? Or are you just following the science on this one? The FDA yesterday withdrew the EUA, the Emergency Use Authorization, for some monoclonal antibody treatments because they don't work against Omicron. Okay, nice blanket statement there. But Florida continues to push for the treatment for people in the state. What's your response to Governor DeSantis? Well, again, okay, this is probably the doctors who are using and prescribing this stuff wondering, why can't I get the treatment that I've been using before tackle same virus in different people. Like, none of this shit makes sense, okay? And what's your message to the people in Florida? Sucks to suck. I guess you're just gonna fucking die. Well, let's just take a step back here and realize how crazy this is a little bit. You're probably not going to address why it is crazy after all, and you're probably just going to simp for Big Daddy government. I'm just going to throw that out there, Jen, okay? We're on a first name basis. We've approached COVID treatments like filling a medicine cabinet. Oh my fuck. We're not relying on one type, one brand, or treatment. We invest in and continue to buy a variety across monoclonal antibody treatments. What about Florida specifically? That's what you were specifically asked about. Psaki stated that government had provided 71,000 antiviral doses to the state, including 34,000 additional treatments that work against Omicron. All right, cool. So specific ones work against Omicron, but you're going ahead and cutting out the ones that don't, okay, because other states are using them, or no? Or what about additional treatments that might work in conjunction with those ones that might not work? You got what I'm saying, or vaguely alluding to? Because again, YouTube, you're just a great platform for free speech and thought analysis and, just debating ideas. Anyways, we have sent them 71,000 doses of treatments that are effective against Omicron and are effective also against Delta, but they are still advocating for treatments that don't work. Wait, what? I'm glad she knows what science is, and I'm glad that she knows and she has all of the answers for things, okay? And people, once again, aren't allowed to seek treatment that may or may not be life-saving, okay? I'm glad this isn't being politicized at all. We've seen, unfortunately, from the beginning in our pandemic response, a range of steps or approaches that have made through social media platforms and unfortunately, from the mouths of elected officials and the advocating for things that don't even work. We know things do work. Injecting disinfectants. Oh my fucking god. He can't hurt you anymore. Stop it. Promoting other pseudoscience, sowing doubts on the effectiveness of vaccines and boosters. Again, if somebody's sick, how is a vaccine or how is a booster going to help you right then and there? Okay, we're talking about people. Okay, if you're addressing the science and the infection, if people are sick right now, getting the jab and being fully vaccinated, okay, isn't going to change the fact that they're sick right now. And now promoting treatments that don't work. That kind of seems, okay, because you're saying, okay, all of this stuff that's coming through social media platforms, which you live on and you get your talking points from, and the base that you're pandering to basically exclusively at this point. And you're advocating for things, okay, specific things, okay, in light of anecdotal or even real life evidence of other things that work, all in an effort to push the jab, okay? But again, let's get out of the reality of just hyperbole and, frankly, misinformation. On Monday, the Florida Department of Health released a statement condemning the abrupt decision to take away treatments that can prevent severe illness, hospitalization, and death in high-risk patients who have contracted or been exposed to COVID-19. This evening, without any advance notice, the U.S. FDA revised the Emergency Use Authorization. The revised EUA does not allow providers to administer these treatments within the United States. We provide them things that do work, though. Almost like you're not familiar with the EUA. That's out there. Wouldn't be the first time, it won't be the last time. But yeah, this is all in an effort, once again, and it still is the case and still is the fact that get the jab or you can just die. That's what they're going with at this point, and that's what we're seeing manifest in Boston, specifically because a Boston patient removed from HEART TRANSPLANT list for being unvaccinated. Yeah, we've seen this in Colorado. I remember that was the first case that definitely sticks out in my mind. Somebody waiting on a list for a liver transplant or a kidney transplant. It was something. It was one of those, organs in the middle. Okay, they had a perfect match. They had a donor that was willing and ready, and because both of them weren't vaccinated, we aren't going to be doing that because the reasons, I don't know. This dude here is on a ventilator, okay? He needs a new fucking ticker. And he was right at the top of the list, and then he just got yeeted because he's not vaccinated. Unfucking believable. We're here now. Get the jab or die. Don't get sick. 31-year-old father has been removed from a heart transplant list at the Boston hospital because he is refusing to get the jab, his family said. DJ Ferguson's family says he is the first on the list to receive the transplant at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Oh, yeah, Brigham. I thought it said Birmingham. But he is no longer eligible because of his vaccination status. Why is that? Why is that? I don't get it. I don't get this at all whatsoever. His father, David Ferguson, said his son, who has been fighting for his life in hospital and is desperate need of the transplant, doesn't believe in the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay. It's kind of against his basic principles. He doesn't believe in it. It's a real thing. You can believe in it. I'm just saying. It's a policy they are enforcing, and so, because he won't get the shot, they took him off the list for the heart transplant. That's unfucking believable. Oh, but it's a choice, right? You can get the vaccine, or you can just die, I guess. My son has gone to the edge of death to stick to his guns, and he's been pushed to the limit. Ferguson has 2 children and is expecting a third with his partner, Heather, according to a GoFundMe page set up for him. Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is a Harvard teaching facility. Oh, cool. So they're just, once again, just running back their old history with eugenics. That's Harvard for you. Said research has shown transplant recipients were at a much higher risk of dying from COVID compared to non-transplant patients. Again, how big is that fucking group of people? I don't get it. This is absurd. Abso-fucking-lutely absurd. And how many, like, I don't even know what your test pool on this is. That's just what I'm hung up on. We do everything we can to ensure that a patient who receives a transplanted organ has the greatest chance of survival. Oh, okay, cool. So we don't want to waste a good heart on one of these filthy people, okay? Our Mass General Brigham healthcare system requires several CDC recommended vaccines. Oh, okay, cool. Including the COOF vaccine and lifestyle behaviors for transplant candidates to create both the best chance for a successful operation and to optimize a patient's survival after transplantation, given their immune system is drastically suppressed. Patients are not active on the waiting list without this. Hospital's policy requiring recipients to have the COOF vaccine is in line with many other transplant programs across the United States. The spokesperson asked, see, everybody else is just saying the black people aren't allowed to come in here. Okay, so we're just following along with this. Once again, this is Boston and shit checks out, right? That's what they're doing. It's just a new argument. It's just a Mad Libs version of what's been going on for literally ever. Oh, it's not a 2-tiered society. Okay, you can just get the jab. Okay, you can just be like everybody else. But again, are we going to get to the point where it's just, okay, cool, you've got 2 jabs, but you're going to need a third. Okay, you're going to need to be boosted. Okay, and then you're going to need to be reboosted. Okay, and then, oh, sorry, we have this other little caveat where we have certain lifestyle decisions, and it's like, oh, sorry, we don't serve Jews here. Oh, you have your own hospital, you guys can do that. And oh, what's that, you're a Trump supporter? Yeah, we don't want to just give some of those fat, disgusting people new hearts. You guys are at higher risk of dying. We've ran the numbers. Think I'm being hyperbolic? Just give it enough fucking time. People are out for blood, man. It won't stop at nothing. Like I said in the beginning of the first video, it's kind of a weird day, so I got a whole hodgepodge of different stories that are going on out there. A little COOF related, because that's basically everything that's going on at this point. Okay, we're still just trying to get fucking out of this at this point, so we're going to end on a little bit of hope. How about that? That sounds good now, doesn't it? With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.